This whole society, if they would just understand what the bee is telling them, there would be no longer any anxiety, there would be no longer any violence, there would be peace on earth. If they would just listen to the message of the bee that Krishna is speaking through. Everyone in this world is mad to accumulate prestige and wealth. And factually, the whole world is going around on that basis. Profit, adoration, and distinction. It is called by Srila Prabhupada's subtle sex life. That is the motivating force behind everyone, everywhere in this human society. The wars in this world, even the religious wars, so-called, they are not based on any religious principles. They're simply based on the desire, the greed for prestige and wealth. Of all wealth, the greatest form of wealth is land. So nations are fighting one another, conquering one another, building bombs every day, spending billions of dollars, building nuclear weapons, simply because they want to defend and procure more and more land, which is wealth. And through the process, they attain great prestige. And through this false ego, they can think more and more that they are the Lord of all they survey, that they are the enjoyer. That is on a large level. On a smaller level, people are simply struggling hard, enduring so many sacrifices, enduring so many pains and sufferings, implicating themselves in so much pious and sinful karma. For what purpose? For wealth and prestige. Men are hungry, they're mad, they're greedy for wealth and prestige. Even pious people are mad for prestige. In this way, we can calculate, if we study practically any ordinary person in this world, we'll find that that is the state of their consciousness. So the bee, which is such an insignificant little creature, hardly 1 inch in size, one single bee can give you all the information you need to immune yourself from this whole dilemma of the spell that all living entities, from the greatest scholars to the greatest heroes throughout history, they are all under the spell of the same energy. And if they would just listen to the bee, they would become liberated. Because the bee is teaching by his example the condition of whole human society and its futility. The bee is out collecting all day the pollen. He is working so hard. And then he takes that and transforms it into honey. And he puts it in his honeycomb. And the bees are working together as an entire civilization, individually, collectively, just accumulating more and more and more and more honey and packing them very nicely. And they're working so hard, collecting, more and more. And they're all thinking the future, their happiness, their welfare, for themselves, for their families, for future generations. And then what happens? The beekeeper comes, just shoos all the bees away, takes all the honey away, and sells it. And the whole bee's life of work within a moment is all taken away. The bee takes such pleasure in drinking that honey. It's the nectar of his life, and it's just all gone. It is described that money is like honey because it is very sweet, because it is through the agency of money that all forms of sense gratification are available to us. And there is nothing sweeter than sense gratification. And the means to sense gratification is facilitated by money, so money is honey. But it is the same type of honey as the honey is to the bee. You work so hard throughout your life simply to accumulate more and more funds, more and more prestige, not knowing that today or tomorrow everything you've done is simply going to be taken away. It is explained that there is a period of a golden age within Kali Yuga, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This golden age will only really take effect when people take to religious life and chant the holy names of God. That is the only possible way of immuning yourself from the influence of Kali Yuga. So just as the beekeeper simply feeds the bees more and more and more just to get them to make more and more and more honey, knowing in due course of time he's just going to take it all away. So Maya is like a big beekeeper. She has a whole civilization of bees just swarming around, working like madmen to accumulate more and more of the honey, of wealth and money, knowing that she's just going to take it all away in due course of time. So from the most insignificant little bee, how much we can learn about life.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.